Every woman pays for her relationship. Let me be brutally honest. No one will tell you this, darling. There is always an energy exchange. Just like most things in life, nothing is for free. But here's the thing, you get to choose what type of energy you would like to exchange. You either pay the relationship with your masculine energies by carrying the stress, overworking, holding all the financial burdens, sacrificing yourself, bringing clarity and direction and thought into your relationship, initiating everything in your relationship, managing, controlling your man, mothering your man, building your man. Or you get to pay with your feminine energy, being the best receiver, becoming a master in embodied feminine spirituality, being able to surrender to divinity itself, being in your desires, being in your body, in your heart, learning about the masculine principle, how it operates, becoming wise with your interactions with it, being the emotional, energetic leader in the relationship, doing the inner work, the healing work, the great work, as I call it, and being able to hold the highest quality frequency within you, the frequency that creates worlds, which your family can feed off and use to become bigger and better than they can ever be on their own. So, you get to choose which way you would like to pay for the relationship. Either way, there is going to be an energetic transaction, darling. Now, in this video, we are going to dive deeply into the pros, the positives for you as a woman if you choose to be with a man who pays for the relationship with his masculine principle, right? Pay for the relationship with his clarity, direction, decisions, leaderships, his provisions, protections, his presence, and all the wonderful masculine gifts. And you paying with your feminine energies, right? Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be thinking, but Eliandra, isn't that gold digging? Isn't this being in a weak position? Isn't this taking women back a whole century, right? Isn't this disempowering to women? Yada, yada, yada. If this thought is going through your mind, ladies, you have to stay with me here, darling. All right? You, my sweetheart, is why I have created this whole channel for. All right? So the short answer to any of your gold digging questions is this: a simple, direct no. 100% no. This whole thing is called energetic symmetry. All right? So today we are talking about the real pros, the positives of choosing a provider type man, the kind who leads, builds with you, and builds a safe, secure containment for you to enjoy yourself in, for you to feel safe in, for you to evolve and become your full radiant self in. All right? And the next video, part 2, a continuation of this video, we will dive deeply into the cons, right? Everything has a higher octave and a lower octave to it, darling. Everything has a light and dark to it. So in the following video, so don't forget to hit the notification button so you are immediately notified as soon as I drop that video, and there's gold in it, darling. All right? In that video, I will dive deeper into the cons of choosing the provider type man. So yes, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like content like this. All right, welcome to the Apsara Academy. This is where we talk about real love, soul level healing, and unshakable feminine power, darling. Now, PS, before we dive deeper, and I'm excited to All right. I love creating content like this for you, and I hope you enjoy listening to it too. Um, I hope you like my vibe, and this is fun for me, darling. This whole work, my what I'm creating, the content that I put out for you, it's so much fun creating for you. Okay, so I'm excited to dive deeper with you. But however, if you really want to embody what we are talking about, I would want you to go into my history, scroll through my history, and really study one of this video. It's called the Four Masculine Energy Hierarchy Archetypes or something like that. All right. So if you after this video go and learn from that video as well, there's so much of gold in it, and that will help you uh, understand my content at a deeper level. All right, so I have my warm cup of drink here with me. I hope you have yours too. And you know what? Relax, lean back, and come along this journey with me, darling. Let's get started, shall we? All right. So I want to start with a story. A woman I used to know, okay, long back, like smart, loving, devoted soul, stunningly gorgeous. She met a man who swept her off her feet pretty much, right? He had the charm, the swagger, he had passion, right? He told her that she was the love of his life. But unfortunately, he wasn't like financially stable, right? Like he had no plans, no leadership. He wasn't leading his own life very well, right? And in a way, like, you know, leading his life in a way that would make his own family or his friends respect him, right? Like look up to him. She thought that it was okay, right? In the beginning, like she used to tell me that she felt this deep connection and outwardly connection and bond with this person, and she at that juncture believed that that love was enough. The love that she felt for this person was enough. She thought it would be even romantic to build a man up, right? To support him until he makes it. She thought money doesn't matter if the love connection is deep enough. Anyway, fast forward 10 years, right? She was exhausted. She was the one paying all the bills. She was the one carrying the stress, doing everything for the children. She was the one making every decision. And yeah, decision takes mental energy, by the way. And he was still figuring things out. Her health was affected, her peace of mind, her joy, all gone. She had, in fact, she's such a beautiful, radiant girl, right? When we were young. But as we grew, she became so hard. You can visibly see the hardness in her. Like, for example, she used to have a voice that was so sweet and soft and almost musical. I loved her voice. But later on, like, her voice had a hardened edge to it. This is the truth, darling. A man without money is not energetically neutral even for you, right? He is an energetic debt. So, and love without clarity, direction, leadership equals burnout. Okay, so this is what I want to dive into now. We have our board here. I hope you are seeing it clearly. So, see, if we look at, all right, no money, all right, that's just the external manifestation, all right? The guy has not made it yet financially. His ducks are not in a row. There's no safety or security when it comes to his financial world, right? But that's just the external, okay? There is a deeper energetic truth to this manifested exterior of his. Now, that deeper energetic truth is this, darling. It could mean that he has no disciplines. It could mean that he has no vision, no leadership within himself, no drive, might be carrying a lot of fears, self-worth issues, traumas around money, maybe even ancestral karma around money in his field, in his DNA, right? Or maybe the energetic truth of no money could be like his financial IQ is low, his financial EQ is low. Okay, maybe he has some addictions that sap at his time and energy, so he's not motivated enough to build anything solid and real. Okay, maybe his family and social circle, all right, his world that he belongs to hold these similar frequencies or even lower frequencies, right? Or maybe his container for dreams is small, his container for visions and possibilities and expanded adventures for himself in this life, that's small. Maybe his container for money is small, right? Because of negative beliefs around money or abundance or prosperity even. So it's not just about, women who choose into men who can't provide, right? They might think, in fact, let me come clean and tell you, my first husband, he was one of these kind of souls, right? And I was the kind of chick who thought that ride or die, we can build this together, but I was doing all the heavy lifting, okay? So it's not just about giving him your money, right? You will literally have to pour into this pit. Not just give him money, but pour into this pit with all your energies, whether you consciously or unconsciously do it, whether you're aware of it or not. If you choose this kind of a soul, you won't just land up giving him money, but you'll have to fill this as well, okay? No direction for his own life. He might be flowing through life, okay? Now, remember the video I asked, so after watching this video, please go and listen to that. The 4 energetic archetypes of masculine hierarchy, all right? That's how men elevate themselves energetically. So the lower part of the ladder is what I call the boy, okay? The next hierarchy above the boy energetics is the man. Please go watch that video for details into all of these archetypes. Above that is the husbandry coded king archetype. And the top of the ladder is the emperor. So this is where you will get into an energetic debt, darling. Maybe not in the first few months of maybe even first year or 2 of your marriage, but after the 5th year, 10th year, especially as you grow older, you will start feeling this, okay? So, what was I saying? Hang on. So, if he's a boy, if he holds these vibrations, right, he might not even have a direction for his own life. He might be like la-di-da-di-da, flowing through life, all right? No next clear ascension, evolution, desires or plans or actions for it, right? So that's the man archetype. And the next level above that, and I was married to this soul, this kind of a soul, all right? And the next evolved version above that is the man archetype. And with him, what might happen is this is a little tricky, all right? He might have the talk, he might have the silver tongue, he might even have plans, he might even have dreams, he might have goals, and he might even be working on those dreams, plans, and goals. However, you'll realize that he might be chopping and changing his life purpose. He might be chopping and changing business ideas. And you might see that none of his creative endeavors actually take off. Okay? It's like just all talk, no substance. You know what I'm saying? So that could be it. So when it comes to men, darling, okay, either you choose into the asset type of a man, okay, or the liability type of a man. So what do I mean by asset or liability? So your man can either be your asset, these two archetypes, or I don't know if you can see this. So your man will either be an asset for you or he will be a liability. So what is an asset? If you ask me, an asset is something that can pour into you, that can give to you, right? It's a positive plus for you. It's a, you know what I'm talking about, right? You don't have to do anything, perform, take action. You don't have to do anything. It can just nourish you, nurture you. It can just give to you. All right, quite naturally because of its own frequency. And a liability, okay, is something that drains you, that takes away from you, that you have to give to, right? Your energies are sucked into it. So in terms of financial literacy, right, what is an asset? So let's say you've invested a lot of money in some sort of investment, and monthly you get some passive income. That is an asset, right? It gives to you. You don't have to do much for it, all right? But it just keeps giving to you. This is what these archetypes can be for your life. But if you look at a liability, it's like Robert Kiyosaki, right? One of my mentors when it comes to financial intelligence, he talks about your car even being a liability. Some people think that cars are a fancy thing in life, but honestly, you have to pay for the car. You have to put fuel into it. You have to maintain it, service it for its upkeep, whatever, right? And you have to drive it yourself. So it takes so much of your resources, time, energy, and efforts, all right? So according to Robert Kiyosaki, a car can even be a liability. A good looking, fancy looking car even, right, which has swagger and silver tongue and everything, could be a liability in your life, a drain, all right? A liability guy will pretty much suck you dry, darling, every time. Some of these types of souls, I feel, have even incarnated to siphon from the feminine, right? To be the predator, not the provider. You can even, like today, I'm 48 years old, right? So, and I've lived a life, darling. And today I can easily, even visually spot the visual differences, darling, between women, all right? The visual differences between a woman who has chosen an asset and a woman who has chosen a liability archetype in her life. I can see the difference, all right? Like the one who's chosen the liability would have this nervous, frenzied, overthinking, over that zzz energy about her, right? And heaviness, right? Hardened heaviness in her field. And a woman who has chosen an asset in her life as her life partner, you can just, as years go by, you can just see her flourishing more. You can see her soften more. You can see her sweetness more. You can just, you'll feel so comforted, held, and so positive and healed in her presence even, right? So I can spot the difference. Let me know if you can, right? See, nothing, darling, remember, no judgments in my world, okay? Nothing is right or wrong here, but I want you to consciously understand the consequences of your decisions, right? After that, you are entitled to make your own choices. But yes, this channel, this portal is for women who want to choose into asset type of men, all right? The husbandry coded king or the emperor archetype. Now, so this is the lie, all right? I truly believe that the inversion of the matrix is this, all right? The lie that women have been told and sold that the feeling of love, all right, is enough. Okay, this is the most expensive, draining myth ever sold and peddled to a woman. Okay, so let's move on, darling. Okay. Right. Let's talk about, I want to talk about the provision spectrum now. Okay. Not all provisions are equal. There is a spectrum. Okay. So I call it let's call it the masculine provision spectrum. Masculine provision spectrum. Okay. So it starts with the boy spectrum. Okay. Then it moves on a little higher down the spectrum is the boyfriend. I hope you can hear it. All right. Boyfriend type giver. And if the writing is not clear, darling, again, I'm going to talk you through it. So don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. All right. As you go up the ladder, you have the husbandry coded king's provision. And at the epitome, all right, the highest frequencies, you have the emperor's provisions. Okay. So this is the masculine provision spectrum. Now I want to break each thing down for you. Okay, are you ready? So when we look at the boy provision, right, we're talking about movie love. We're talking about romantic poetry in the middle of the night, all right? He gives you words. The sex is just so great, all right? There are flowers and midnight birthday surprise celebrations, and there are Netflix and chill moments. That there is making love under the stars, all right? There is long drives with alcohol and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about, right? So the vibes of the vibes of romance, all right, the fantastical kind is there, but there will be no structure. Okay, that's the boys' provisions. Now, if you look at the boyfriend giver, right, the man's provision, this is where all the 50-50 kind of relationships come into place, all right? So the boyfriend type of a giver, that is the man archetype, right? He might split the rent with you, take you out on a dinner, and you might have to pay sometimes. Sometimes he might pay, all right? There is no safety and security and clarity around all of those things. He will figure it out. He'll say things like, we'll figure it out. Let's go with the flow. Let's see how this goes. When you worry about the future, when you want to ask about the future. Okay, so that's the man's provision. Next, the king, the husbandry coded king's provision, right? At the basic minimum, right, the king will have a home, a kingdom already built, or money in the bank enough to quickly buy one as soon as you enter his life. Okay, so plans, clarity made for all of those things. And when the king chooses you, he knows already that he can afford you and your lifestyle. That's how a king, these kind of men operate, right? The king's provision will include children. He'll be planning children, future with you, right? So he's not just thinking of you as a Netflix and chill, poetry writing, romantic, fantastical person to have fun with, right? He is building a kingdom with you. He is thinking of you as his wife to take positive ownership over, and he's planning children with you, right? He's building himself. He's been building himself for years maybe, and he's been saving for years even, all right? He's been building himself up, his skill set, and pushing himself for you and for his future children. So he's been doing this to build a family with you. So he provides, what does the king provide? He provides home, steady, safe, secure income, which will take care of your food, shelter, at the basic minimum, right? We're talking food, shelter, clothing. And when he chooses you, when he spots you and he's going to propose to you, he already knows he can provide you the lifestyle that you are already used to. Okay? So he provides that structure and that kind of long-term stability. So that's what the king's provision looks like. Now moving on, all right? Finally, the emperor's provision. What does that look like, darling? His provision is like, he will see you so deeply, he will get you so deeply that it might even frighten you. It will trigger you, all right? So at that level, he will protect your soul, all right? He will draw out your vision. He will protect and provide for your vision. His provisions, right, goes beyond physical provisions. He provides for your extended family, even friends, right? Community. He'll already be providing for the community. And he'll very easily provide for your future, of course, without even being asked, all right? The difference is he will provide for your soul's evolution. He helps you build your legacy. So legacy is the word here, all right? That archetype. So this is what we call the masculine provision spectrum, ladies. Okay, I want you to take a moment now and ask yourself the question with self-love, no judgments, no self-criticism, just for your own understanding and conscious awareness, and try and understand where your husband or one of your suitors that you are thinking of falls into place here. Now, this is where wisdom comes in, right? These are very important questions you need to ask yourself, darling. For instance, my husband and I, we are in this frequency. Slowly and steadily, both of us are moving into this archetype. Me into the frequency holder, right? The freaking Empress, and him into who's gets influenced by the frequency holder and moving into the Emperor codes. So my husband and I, right here, most of the time, but very strong steps ahead here, all right? I see ourselves the next couple of years, we'll be fully anchored here. So ask yourself these questions. No shame, no blame, just for your own conscious understanding of your soul and your journey, all right? Now, here's the trap most women fall into, darling. They date a man on the lower end of the spectrum, hoping he will climb, hoping he will one day become the provider coded man. This is what is calling dating or loving or marrying the potential. And I've done that. So no judgments here, all right? Hold yourself with self-compassion, empathy, and awareness in this moment. If these things, if what I said just hit something raw and real for you. I was here trying to build something and to try and make him into this and that. Because I know I'm a kingmaker. I know I'm a emperor maker, right? I know I believe in what God has coded me with. But I chose wrong. Okay? So hold yourself with love and compassion, darling, in this moment, okay? It's all okay. It'll be okay. So, yeah. See, provisionship energies should not be in a potential, should not be a maybe, all right? It's a core freaking masculine principle. It's either there or not. If he's not providing, he's not fully locked into his masculine. He's on this spectrum. And you, like, that's his job. That's his soul evolution, right? It's not your job to change him or build him, darling. You could just hope and you can try. Okay, it didn't work for me. So true masculine provisions does more than just you know what the whole gold digging community talks about, right? It's a very superficial form of provisionship that the internet online community talks about, the relationship coaching industry sometimes talks about. And it really gets to me because they don't understand the real value and the depths of masculine provisionship, darling. And it really breaks my heart because it does more than just cover your expenses. Okay, it's an energetic containment. Okay, it is the invisible structure that allows a woman's nervous system to exhale, to relax, to feel safe in. When a woman is with a man who truly provides, she's not scanning for danger, right? She's not calculating survival in the background in her mind. She's not in the constant state of, what if this happens? What if that happens? Right? Her body knows, her nervous system knows that she's safe. Her mind is freed from fears. Okay? It is free now to just be, to heal, to create, to just relax and exhale. Her heart is freed to love more deeply. Her energies are freed to flow into her purpose and her home, the other souls in her home, right? But when provision is absent, a woman lives in what I call masculine overdrive, right? This is the state where her entire being is overfunctioning because she doesn't feel a container that can solidly hold her. And here's how it shows up, my darling. She is always thinking about money, right? She is running mental checklists, even when she's trying to rest. She's the one solving all the logistics all the time. She's the one managing the future. She becomes her man's motivator, coach, therapist, and even his mother. And if you've ever been in that role like I have, you know it kills attraction eventually, darling. Not initially, eventually. And as you grow older, trust me, this load can really do a number even with your health. Even with your health. Especially if you are predominantly a feminine essence woman. Okay, so, and yeah, so the attraction, right, the respect for him will vanish because the woman, the feminine principle, right, cannot open fully to the same man she has to parent. Okay, so some of you are in relationships right now where you are saying, babe, we are building together, but you're the only one carrying all the bricks. He's dreaming while you're delivering. Let me give you some tough love, darling. Okay, if you are the purpose, the plan, and the purse, you are dating a dependent. Okay, not a man. Like Carl Jung once said, right? The meaning of the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But if you are the only one reacting, providing, containing, you are not in a transformation, right? You are in an erosion. This is why provision matters, darling. Not just because it pays for superficial things, okay? But because it signals that the masculine principle is alive and thriving in your partnership. And the feminine principle can finally breathe and relax and become her whole self. Right, so now I want to dive deeper into feminine receptive containment capabilities, all right? A lot of us just keep talking about and blaming men for doing things right, not doing things right, all right, complaining about how bad a provider he is, la di da di da, and rightfully so for some of these archetypes. But always remember, darling, if we are constantly pointing at the man, all right, the men external to us, one finger, yes, of course, is pointing at them, but remember, right? 3 fingers are pointing back to us and help us God. 1 finger is pointing to God, okay? So 3 fingers pointing at you. So let's take stock, my darling. So I want to talk about the feminine containment capabilities. Let's talk about that now, okay? Now, see, we spoke about the boy, the man, the king, and the emperor, right? Now, its equal and opposite reciprocal feminine counterpart is the girl, the woman, the queen, and the empress. And each of these archetypes, okay, the girl has her own feminine container, issues, shadows, positives, negatives about it. The woman, similar. The wife-coded queen archetype has a bigger, better feminine container around provisions. Okay, and so on and so forth. I hope I'm making sense here. Okay, so this is what we're going to dive into, one archetype at a time. Not just, okay, this is, see, we're going to step into energetics here, darling. So it's not about a woman just thinking and like cerebrally, like mentally wanting her man to provide for her. No, okay, this is about her embodiment, her field, her energetics. Is it even capable of receiving and holding a man, a true provider's provisions into her field? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. Not just mental wanting, right? But actual energetic holding it. Can you hold it? So what I mean by the feminine holding, the feminine receptive container, right? We're talking about your inner structure, which is made out of your beliefs, okay, your boundaries, your nervous system capacity, your self-worth or lack of it, right? If that structure is weak or leaky, the provisions will not feel safe. It will not stay. It will reduce, all right? You will push it away. You will minimize it, or you will shrink it, or you won't even recognize it. You will not understand it. You won't even notice it, or you might complain about it. You will punish it, or you'll try to control it, or you will try to nitpick it. Okay? So let me draw something here to help us like understand this concept. So if you think of like masculine provision, right, flowing in, masculine provision from the masculine principle flowing into the feminine holding container. So, okay, now this is made up of your belief systems, the quality of this, okay, if you're a girl, this will vibrate in a different way. If you're a woman, this has different frequencies. If you're a queen coded wife coded queen archetype, this will have different codings. And if you're the empress, right, the frequency holder herself, this would show itself in a very, very different way. Okay, so the first 2 archetypes, the girl and the woman, this is very small. She just simply cannot hold it. Okay, it will be something like this, if at all, or a flat surface, hard flat surface. Okay, nothing can get into that field. It will just like dissipate and flow off or evaporate. Okay, or it will go into another containment, another feminine holding containment, which receives it. I hope you got that, ladies. So So if it's like shallow or straight, flat, hard surface, right? What am I talking about here? If it's the girl or the woman archetype, she will like literally push it away, okay? Or she might minimize this. She will not recognize or give it its value. She will not let it, allow it to shine or grow. She will literally shrink it, all right? She might not notice it. Or the worst case scenario, right? She will punish it. That's the saddest thing, darling. And I see this happening day in and day out all around me. Trust me. I am a woman's woman. I'm a girl's girl, okay? That's why I do this, right? This is my labor of love for the feminine collective out there. But when I see these things, oh my gosh, yeah, it's not easy for me. Okay, so right, so why? Okay, let's get into why these things happen. It starts with early childhood imprints, darling. All right, if love meant work in your childhood, right? If affection came with strings as a child, if your safety dependent on you managing or mothering the adults around you, receiving will equal to danger in your body. So when a man provides, your system will unconsciously look for a catch or reject it. Like it's a knee-jerk reaction would be to resist it, right? How might that show off? You might, if something comes your way, you might not trust it. You might not allow it. You might you might feel obligation. You might feel indebted just because something is coming, and you might feel a sense of obligation, right? Like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? What are the strings tied attached to this? Okay. Or think you have to perform in some way to repay the debt. This is not a debt, darling. This is a gift. Okay. So this is not feminine receivership, darling. Okay. Now I want to name the 4 blocks to receiving provision that most women suffer with, that I see constantly around me. Okay. Block 1. Take notes if you need to on this one. Hyper independence, and I can relate to this. All right. She is the woman who believes, if I don't do it, if I don't roll up my sleeve and do it, we won't survive this. This won't get done. This will not get done well. Or I'm the only one who can do this perfectly. So she rejects help, then eventually resents all the heavy lifting and the load that she has to carry. Tricky, right? Block number 2. There is a control compulsion within her. All right. It's almost like an anxious template. Like if she doesn't steer, if she is not sitting on the pilot seat, she spirals. She gets anxious. So she has to micromanage every freaking masculine offering. Okay. So block number 3. Unworthiness, shame. And this is something I can relate to as well. There is an inner script that says, I don't deserve this unless I earn it. So she overperforms to balance the scales sometimes. Okay. Block number 4. It's the negative animus, right? A buried distrust of the masculine collective. Beliefs that say that men are unreliable, selfish, or dangerous. So when a man offers real provision, she attacks the offer to protect herself from potential disappointments. Now let's get brutally honest about how the wounded feminine chops masculine provision down, darling. Okay, how she rejects compliments and gifts, then complains that he's not being a good husband or he isn't generous. All right, she minimizes or trivializes his contribution, saying it's nothing, it was nothing, oh, it's not a big deal. All right, she competes with him, right? Turns partnership into like a power contest, or she undercuts his decisions with constant critique, right? Death by 1,000 corrections, right? Oh my God. I'm not laughing at you, darling, all right? Just the workings of the old avatar, the old version of me comes to my mind. That's it, right? Or another way this thing can show up is she tends to create drama or chaos right when, okay, right after the man has done something big, a big win for him, all right? And this girl sees it, receives it, and then creates a whole fight and a drama. This is what is called the upper limit problem, right? So basically, she takes away all the light and the big win off of the masculine and creates dramas and chaos to regain control of the energy somehow, the attention, right? She needs to be the center of attention. Okay, so another way is this I can relate to, right? She keeps score, making everything transactional, all right? Every line and dot is like every T is crossed and I is dotted, is that right? Okay, so that could be how it shows up, right? It's an unconscious way of somewhere the scales are being balanced. It's very, very transactional. Another way it shows up is, I can relate to this as well, right? She hides her needs to avoid vulnerability and explodes when her needs aren't met. So all these moves, all right, that especially the last two, the bottom two feminine archetypes, the girl and the woman tends to make, sends one message to the universe, all right, to the masculine principle out there, not just to her man, all right? All the masculine provisonships in the universe, it sends this message to her. Don't provide for me. Don't give to me. So those energies cannot land in her field. It cannot land in her timeline, all right? Magic cannot happen. She gets caught up in the struggle lifestyle. So the masculine principle around you, all right, including your husband, simply stops its offerings eventually, or it offers less and less and less and less, and the relationship eventually collapses into a one-man show, a woman wearing the pants. Okay, here's one reframe, like mindset shifting reframe for you, darling, especially if this resonated and you wish to stop and step more deeply into your feminine magnetism. This is a mindset shifting, belief shifting reframe, all right? Know this. Make it as a mantra if needed, okay? This is the reframe. Provision is not meant to replace my power. His provision is not meant to replace my power. It is meant to honor it. When your feminine receivership container is strong, okay, provision literally will feel so beautiful, becomes fuel, it'll glow you up, you will enjoy it so much, it'll feel like pleasure, it just feels so delicious, you will love it, okay? It takes a little bit of practice. This is one aspect of feminine leadership, feminine energetic leadership, right, that most people never learn. But this is one of the core, right? If you want to live a feminine life, this is something that mastery and sophistication needs to be developed in. Trust me, the way the Empress archetype receives from her masculine is totally different to the way a girl archetype will receive from the masculine. And we're going to get into each archetypes shortly, so stay with me. So ladies, if you like my vibe, if you like contents like this, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. And also, if you know that one girl, that friend or relative of yours who you know would uh, would need to hear this message, don't forget to share it with her, darling. Okay? So yes, the number one core principle, all right, that the feminine embodied queen and the Empress archetype would have mastered and be operating at such a level of sophistication in is this one thing: the feminine leadership of being able to of her receptive container that receives her masculine providership's gifts. Okay, so this feminine energetic leadership in receiving the masculine gifts, right? It's not like a genius level rocket science. It is a muscle, okay? It is a very natural thing in you, and it can be developed, okay? It can be built, my darling. I know I built it, and I'll get to that. Maybe I'll share it with you in this video. So let's build this in you now, okay? Let's start with giving yourself, I want you to give yourself these 3 permissions that you need, all right, to allow yourself into. You need to give this permission to yourself, and this will energetically change everything for you. And slowly do the practices. I'll walk you through shortly, all right? And ladies, your feminine artistry, right? Your feminine energetic leadership mastery will slowly come online for you. Pure magic, ladies, pure magic. So let's start with the 3 promises, right? Promise number 1, repeat after me. I am allowed to be provided for without any sort of payback performance. Permission number 2, I am allowed to be visible while receiving. I am allowed to glow up more while receiving. I don't need to shrink myself. I don't need to disappear or hide. No apologizing needed. Permission number 3. I am allowed to give space, room to masculine leadership and provisionship to rise and pour into me. I don't need to take the wheel to feel safe. Okay? Now, I want to give you a practice. Simple, precise, immediately actionable practice. And like I say, right, each one of my shots, and especially all of my long videos, if you watch, it's not about watching or consuming information, right? It's about these mantras, mindset shifting mantras that I give you. You taking it on as your own and repeating it. All right, looking at yourself in the mirror and repeating it back to you, making it as an affirmation until you embody it. Diving deeply into the journal prompts that I give you and doing that work. Ladies, this is where the magic lies, okay, in doing this work, in this practice. Change, okay, feminine embodiment change especially happens energetically, all right, one moment at a time that you choose into, that you let go of another decision, another choice, and you choose something else, okay? So I'm going to give you see, I want to share something. I see you, darling, all right? If you can relate to this shallow container or a hard surface container, not a container at all. I see you, I relate. I used to be you, believe me or not. And where my practice started, and I'm talking like 15 years back or something like that, is learning to just receive a compliment. I used to be the kind of girl that once a compliment comes, let's say someone tells me, oh, your dress, I love your fashion, I love your accessories, I love what you've done to yourself, your makeup looks stunning on you. You know what I did? Immediately I used to resist that, not receive it fully, deeply. I used to resist that and say, oh, this dress is just nothing, you know, I just got it on sale. This is the app I got it from. I'll send it to you, okay? You should buy it too. And But then secretly, I used to go back home and think of that compliment, and it used to secretly make me smile. But I wasn't like fully embodying it, receiving it deeply into me, allowing it to, you know, give me its pleasures. Or I used to reflect it back to them. Oh, your makeup is gorgeous, Eliandra. I love how this color works on you. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh my God, I love your hairstyle, girl. You go, girl. Something. Okay, that was me until I decided to make moment by moment different choices, my love. And this is how I did it. One precise, simple, actionable, different choice at any given moment. A compliment came and I just received it, allowed it to penetrate me fully, deeply, completely, enjoyed it viscerally, bodily. And I allowed, the next step was to allow my body to respond with the glitter in my eye, with a smile, with a cheekiness, with a hug, with deeply felt, embodied, authentic, vulnerable appreciation. And then that practice, I think it's going to rain. Oh my gosh, you just look stunning. I can literally see the horizon and the ocean from my bedroom. Beautiful window, darling, and it's going to rain. I can see dark clouds coming in, and it's so beautiful. And just one ray from the sun. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Okay, I'm digressing. Diffused awareness of the feminine, yeah? Bear with me. Or enjoy it with me. So, what was I talking about? The next level of my mastery, all right, with feminine leadership, receivership, containment, right? The next level, verbalizing my appreciation, and the Empress level that we will soon talk about. Okay, so Empress level, right? I'm going to give you one way in which the Empress would receive and respond. So this is where it starts, darling. Okay, doing this work that I'm going to give you now, the practice, making a different choice in the real moments of your life, in the real interactions between you and your husband. Okay, so this is the actionable work I want you to do. Okay, name one domain where you're planning on, you will allow and give room and space for your husband to lead, okay, to pour into you this week. Give it 1 week. Okay, let it, maybe it's in the area of money, logistics, or home safety, or some paperwork, or some vendor negotiation, or school planning, or some decision, or in some insurance decision. I don't know. Okay, something. So decide on this domain, and this is where you're going to allow your husband to take leadership, complete leadership on, and provide you and gift you and pour into you. Okay, so then decide, communicate this with your husband, and so he should clearly know that the ball's in his court when it comes to this domain. And then you drop the freaking ball and forget all about it. Let the ball drop, even if it means the ball is lying down on the floor, no one's picking it up, even your husband's not picking it up. Okay, remember, he's trained for something else for so long. Okay, so it might take him some time. So it might rot, it might dust, it might be forgotten. Doesn't matter. You have forgotten it. You have named it. You've dropped the ball in his court. Okay, and you forget about it. You forget about where you dropped, or you're not going to go picking at it, reminding, nothing. Let it go. Okay, and you forget all about it, and you surrender to the divine. Okay, I'm not even asking you to surrender to your husband. I'm asking you to surrender to the divine. Practice doing something else, darling. All right, and then I want you to just like, every time your mind goes there, oh my God, the ball sitting there, what's happened to it? What did it move? Did he even look at it? Is he thinking about it? Any time your mind overthinks about that ball, I want you to take all your energies back into yourself, all right? And go and live your best life. Just cut it, take all your energies back, and go and live your best life. It might mean taking that extra 1 hour nap. It might mean going and moisturizing yourself. It might mean going and getting a mani-pedi. It might mean going and spending some quality time with your girlfriends, or going and reading that book, or sitting and staring out the window. Whatever it is, go and nurture yourself, nourish yourself with whatever will make you feel good. Take all your energies back and go live your best life, darling. All right? When the masculine is given enough freedom, enough space, enough room, and when he moves and does his magic, and when he delivers, okay, I want you to do two things. I want you to practice receiving it fully, energetically, and use it all up. Use it all up for your pleasures, okay? You appreciate it. Appreciation means, okay, this is Empress level appreciation codings that I'm giving you now. Okay, for those of you who are already at queen level, wife coded queen level, and or Empress herself, you this is something you can look into. Okay, this is Empress level appreciation, mastery. Okay, to her, appreciation could also be clearly naming the impact it created in her life, in her body. Okay, it could sound like, oh my God, darling, that saved me 2 hours of work. Okay, that thing that you did that reduced our family's cost by 15%, darling. Oh my God, thank you. All right. Oh my God, that removed a load out of my head, out of my mind. I was so stressed about it. Thank you. I can feel my nervous system relaxing, darling. I feel I can breathe more deeply, darling. All right. So that's Empress level, energetic receiver leadership. Okay. So that is all you leave it at. No critiquing layered on top of that appreciation. No immediate suggestion of a better way of how you should have done it or how I would have done it. No asking him to redo or do it better. Okay, you should have done it, you should have not done it, and dissecting it. Ladies. Okay, so this is the practice, darling. One choice at a time, one repetition of this practice at a time. This is how your feminine energetic leadership containment strengthens. Receivership containment strengthens, right? Its capacity grows by repetition. Not theoretically, consuming and understanding what I'm sharing here with you now, darling. So this capacity, right? It strengthens and deepens with your self-worth going up, with your trust in the divine, your trust in God, with your spirituality strengthening. These things deepen when your boundaries get clearer, when your true trust in yourself is unshakable. These things deepen, and your leadership with this deepens and gets more juicier by the day when your shame and guilt around it lessens. Okay? Your shame and guilt around all of these things go. And you build trust, all right, in the partnership, this dance between the masculine and the feminine. Slowly this trust, all right, with consistent proof of your receivership containment, all right, deepening, that actually builds trust. Your man will start feeling safe with you. Your man will start feeling that he is being finally received by his woman. Your man starts feeling like he is seen, he is noticed, he is valued, he is understood finally by a woman. Okay, so that way. And as your artistry and your mastery, sophistication with this develops, you just get so pleasure. It's like fuel for you, darling. Okay, and you enjoy it so deeply, and it's beautiful. Now, FYI, all right, it's not that your vessel is empty. Okay, if say through my world in my channel, one shot at a time, one video at a time, I pass on codings and transformations towards you embodying what I call the holy grail woman, all right, with the Apsara codes. So she is someone whose cup is already filled, FYI, okay? And it's so deep that even though her cup is filled, she also has room enough and depth enough, spiritual depth enough in her field to allow space and freedom for her husband to pour more in. Okay? As she holds clear boundaries and she holds no shame, all right? And she's released complete control of her husband around all these things. And her trust is fully placed in something much higher than her or him or even the relationship. Right? So this is what we are talking about here, darling. The archetype here is the holy grail woman. All right? She is not empty waiting for a savior. All right? She is the frequency holder. She is the sacred vessel. She holds high quality frequencies. She is constantly nurturing and nourishing her own queendom. She is never self-abandoning herself. She's full of self-love, full of self-honor. She's tending to her own gardens. She's tending to her own wants and needs and desires and pleasures. With or without the man. And she allows the space and the freedom and the time and the, there's the space for her man to pour in as well, to just enjoy the party that's already happening there. All right? While she doesn't make him the center of her universe. So this is what we're talking about, darling, the holy grail woman. Okay, these are the Apsara codes that I've dropped in here, little here, all right? I don't know if you caught them. These are her codes. All right, let's dive into some work. I've got some journal prompts for you. Okay, write them down. If you need to stop this video, save this video on your watch later list. Do this work, my love. This is where the magic lies. Not in me spitting out information. Information is cheap. All right, the magic lies in you taking on what I've shared here, that question, writing it down in your journal, going as deep as you can with it, and staying with whatever comes out of answering these questions. Just staying with that feeling, staying with that emotion, staying with that numbness, not running away from it. All right, even if it brings up tears, even if it brings up anger, just go punch a pillow. Close your door, go punch a pillow, go stand under the shower and cry. Stay with it. That is where the magic lies. This is the great work that I call. This is the inner work. This is the healing work, all right? So the first journal prompt, my love. Where do you still earn love by carrying the weight? Okay? In your relationship now with your husband, where do you still earn love by carrying the weight? Second question. Where do you hide your needs to avoid feeling needy? Next question. Where do you cut down masculine offers to stay in control? So I want you to choose one pattern to release today, my love. And choose one place, all right, in your marriage to allow provision to deeply land into your field. This is the moment you move from secretly desiring and wanting it to true embodied containment. Okay, from ideas to embodiment, from struggle and survival to sovereignty. Because a woman who can hold provision, she stops chasing crumbs, all right, and she starts building kingdoms with her man. Now, I want to talk about the four energetic types of feminine hierarchy and how each receive or block provisions. Okay, it's not just about men, what men offer, right? It's about what a woman, like how and what a woman's container can hold without fears, sabotage, or control. So the higher up the feminine hierarchy a woman rises, the cleaner and the more expansive the reception of masculine provision becomes. So let's talk about the first, the lowest level, right? The girl energetic state. And she is the direct reciprocal of the boy. Okay. In the future, don't forget to like and subscribe, darlings, and the notification button, because I will be dropping another video, a gold, on where I'll dive deeply into these four archetypes. Okay. Anyway, let's start. The lowest in the ladder, the girl. Okay. She is completely dependent, fantasy driven, no absolutely no container for receiving, a provider, okay, a man who has the capabilities to provide. The maximum, right? The positive things about her is she can receive things like gifts and movie romance and attention and surface level provisions, right? We're talking flowers, dinners, holidays, maybe. All right. And she loves the feeling of being provided for, but doesn't anchor it into real life stability. Okay. So what might block her is anything that feels too real, right? Like a home, commitment, financial planning. All this she might fight this, run away. She doesn't know how to receive all this. It might scare her off. It might trigger her even. She wouldn't know what to do with all of that, because it forces responsibility, right? And she's not a responsible creature, and it will reveal her lack of maturity. So provisions at this level, stable real life provisions, right? She might run away from these things, and she might display what I call the entitlement thing, right? Like the shadow. So she might expect provision as a right almost, right? Without the reciprocal feminine embodiment that inspires it. She may demand resources or a lifestyle upgrade without offering the emotional nourishment, the stability or partnership that sustains masculine giving. She sees provision as a transactional payoff for attention, posting online, sex, or charm, right? Not as a part of a deeper masculine feminine polarity exchange. And what drives her? She might equate provision with being spoiled, right? And not with being contained and held. She subconsciously fears that accepting long-term provision will require her to grow up, right? And this is the damage she does to the masculine. So she can very easily attract the boy, right? The poet or the boyfriend provisionship. So we're talking about the boy or the man. So she can attract the poet provisionship or the boyfriend provisionship type. Because it's all just playful, transactional, showy, superficial, but it doesn't hold solid, deep-rooted structure, right? And the emperor type provision will just pass her by because she can't hold his scale of provision at all. The king might probably humor her and feel like she is his little child that he needs to take care of, but it's not gonna really juice him up, all right, providing to a girl. These are the telltale signs of a girl's container, receivership container, right? She romanticizes provision, but but resists and rejects the logistics behind it. Okay, so her shadow side is expects provision to as a reward for her beauty or attention or sexual availability without offering stability or deeper feminine values, right? She treats provision as a one-way extraction rather than part of a polarity exchange. She might, and like I mentioned, right, she resists any masculine leadership or structure that comes with provision. Okay, so that's the entitlement shadow. Now let's move into the woman, the archetype of the woman, who's one step elevated from the girl archetype. So her energetic state is the independent, and I used to be her, right? Independent, capable, and survival based struggle life that she's used to, right? And when it comes to masculine provisionship, she might receive selectively, will allow help in areas where she feels safe, all right? Maybe a bill here, a dinner there, but she resists the bigger levels of provisionship, all right? She can't allow a man providing her with a full home or a mansion or whatever, right? For instance, or completely retiring her, or completely providing all of her financial needs, or providing her with partnership when it comes to her life decisions, right? So she's very tight, she's very selective in what she allows, and very tight with many other aspects of her life. I hope that makes sense, right? So she blocks full provision. Like, her nervous system associates being taken care of with being losing autonomy and control. Okay, she often meets the masculine just halfway. We're talking 50-50 relationships, in a way that the polarity is there, but it's diluted polarity. Okay, and psychologically, we're talking about hyper independence, right? Rooted in past disappointments. So the belief of I can do this myself is literally resisting and protecting her from what she imagines like future disappointments if she allows herself to open up vulnerably and receive masculine gifts. All right, she has some trauma around all of these things. She fears that she will be eventually let down by the masculine. So trusting the masculine is like a huge threshold that she needs to do a lot of inner work and healing work around. Okay, now the damage that this kind of an archetype causes to the masculine provisionship, right? She can see, she is the tricky one. Okay, like the man is the tricky one in the masculine hierarchy type. When it comes to the feminine energetic hierarchy, the woman is the tricky one. She can very easily derail and harm and damage a lot of men. So like, she attracts men who enjoy her competence, but never fully, she can never allow a man to fully step into his kingship or his emperorship. Okay, she will sabotage him on all that levels. She just cannot allow him to evolve into those archetypes. Okay, they sense she won't, because see, the honest thing is she can't fully trust the masculine principle, and the men subconsciously get that. They sense that she won't trust them fully. Okay, now the telltale signs is she appreciates provisions in theory, but unconsciously competes with it, or feels the need to prove that she's the one who's still pulling her weight. Okay, now her shadow holds masculine provision to impossible standards. Like, if I could do it better, it doesn't count. Okay, that's one of her belief systems. Like, demands provision while maintaining total control. never allowing the masculine principle to actually lead. Like, she uses her contribution as a leverage. I do my part, so you owe me, dude. Okay? So that's the vibe, the containership vibe of the woman. Okay, now we are getting into the juicy aspects. And if you are a man tuning in, okay, and I know that many of you do, I love you all. And my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for your support and the fact that you view my channel. I thank you and love you all, my darlings. So let me know in the comment section if you're a gentleman tuning in, all right, if these things landed for you and how it lands for you. Now, if you're a gentleman tuning in, all right, the bottom two rungs of the ladder is red flag for you, my darling, all right? The girl archetype and the kind of receivership container that she holds or doesn't, and the woman archetype and the kind of energetic receivership container, feminine leadership that she holds or doesn't. These two are screaming red flags, okay? They would literally, these frequencies will literally derail you from your purpose. You cannot fully, in your own, climb up the ladder, right? You cannot go beyond the boy, okay? The boy or the man level. That's the maximum she will allow you to climb, okay? Beyond that, you just can't. Life will get super difficult. You cannot step into your fully husbandry coded king archetype, or you can't get into the emperor archetype, okay? She will sabotage it. She will derail you. She will be that heavy load. You can't hold her, carry the girl or the woman archetype on your shoulders and do your masculine purposes that you've incarnated for, dude. All right? It's tough. It's tough. My heart goes out to you. And I used to be the second category. So my heart goes out to you. Okay? So choose wisely, my darling. If you're a man tuning in, choose wisely. Okay? I have two sons, so I get you. I do worry about this for my sons, okay? Now, if you develop the wisdom and the discernment, and you consciously choose into partnering with a wife-coded queen archetype woman or an empress archetype woman, your trajectory in life would be magical. It will not be linear. All right, you will quantum jump through life. You will command the respect and the growth and the evolution that you can only dream of. Okay, now FYI, let's imagine on your own you have embodied the king archetype or the emperor archetype, but unfortunately, for whatever reasons, life can get tricky. Especially the woman archetype can be very tricky. Let's imagine you've attracted or you've chosen into a woman archetype, okay? And she is not allowing you, giving you the room, the space, the freedom, the depth, the appreciation, the vulnerability, the authenticity, all right? The magic. She doesn't see you. She doesn't get you. She doesn't understand you. All right? You're not able to be received. In that case, as a mother of two sons, this is what I tell you. You gotta develop that spine and know where to draw clear boundaries with your woman archetype wife. Okay? Number one, make sure you draw clear boundaries with the empire or the kingdom that you are building. Make sure your wife stays away if she is the woman archetype or below. Only allow a wife-coded queen archetype or the empress archetype. You don't even have to worry about the empress archetype, all right? Only above the second ladder do you even allow to enter your purpose in life. At least make sure that you draw boundaries with your empire or your kingdom with the lower two rungs. Okay, so boundaries, very, 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 very crucial. Yeah, let's move on. Now, yes, for some of you gentlemen who do not understand the top two categories and how those women operate, okay, now we're getting into juicy, delicious, awesome, beautiful territories, gentlemen. Okay, open up your ears, take notes if needed, and share it with a fellow friend who is struggling in these matters, okay, if required. All right, my beauties, let's get back to you. Now we're talking about the wife-coded queen. Okay, now her energetic state is sovereign, okay, within the home and the shared life and the structure that she shares with you. She builds this on mutual trust, right? You will feel her softness, her trust in you. She will give you the room and the space and the freedom to provide. And she knows how to receive it, be it your financial provisions, be it your presence, your clear directions, your provisions, all right? Within that sacred family life plan, okay? She'll receive it beautifully. She'll also know how to deploy your provisions effectively, all right? Like turning your resources into tangible stability for the family unit. So she will be masterful and artful in all of these things. She knows how to receive it, and she'll know how to use your resources tangibly, beautifully, in a stable, grounded manner for the family. Okay, now some of her blocks might be, see, ladies, in life, everything has a higher octave and a lower octave, okay? So even the Queen archetype, even the Empress archetype, everybody has a light and a dark, all right? Day and night, higher octave, lower octave. So nothing is perfect in this world, including me. So let's go there. The blocks, right? Like, for the wife-coded queen archetype, like the external expansion beyond the shared container of the family unit, she might unconsciously resist that. So she will unconsciously block and resist legacy level provisions or visionary, legacy level visionary from your end. That is something that the wife-coded queen archetype might resist. So what are we talking about? We're talking about she'll be completely fine providing her with a family home, providing her with children and education for the children. But let's say you want to grow beyond that, right? Or she might even allow provisions in the top-notch education for your children. But let's say you want to go a step further than that. You want to build a legacy. You want to expand beyond that beautiful shared containment of your family, right? That's something that her nervous system will block and resist unconsciously. Okay, so your legacy level provisions or visionary leadership, okay, is something that you might have to walk alone, okay, and do in secret maybe if that is such a big deep drive in you. It's such a shame, but this is her blocks, okay? I don't want to lie about it. Then so it will trigger her. It will literally trigger her fears, her abandonment wounds, and she has issues. She will have issues when your leadership, your masculine leadership and provision, all right, and that attention goes too far beyond the family unit. That's something that she can't contain. Her container is not that deep. So this is the third category. And psychologically, she's mastered the art of receiving provision for the home, but her identity is still tied to the shared kingdom, right? Rather than the full scale of her own feminine influence. And the way she damages or impacts the masculine is she can very easily attract the husbandry coded king archetype and even the emperor archetype, but she might stifle the emperor a little bit. Okay, she this is how she impacts the masculine, right? Men who take deep responsibility for the home and family, if that's their DNA, if that is their coding, like, they will find her irresistible. They will find her femininity, her energetic feminine receptive container, like bees to honey, like super attractive. But however, right, when it comes to growth and evolution, if that's that's the limit your soul wants to go to, it's a happy home you can create with this beautiful chica. But you will stagnate there, right? You will plateau there unless she can also deepen her energetic receptive container leadership. She can also, if she can learn how to receive at the Empress level, she will be the first domino, right, to push you to the extent of your emperorship. So the telltale signs, right? She thrives on co-creation within the household, but hasn't yet fully embraced provision as a vehicle for generational impact. And her shadow, let's get into the shadow of the wife-coded queen archetype. She assumes provision as a locked in. Okay, oh, you're my husband. This is what you do, right? She just assumes provisionship. And she might stop nurturing polarity. Now, these are the shadow aspects, okay? So she might not have the consciousness to consciously work on the polarity. You might feel at a certain point that you're taken for granted, right? Because your provisions are locked in. That's who you are as a man, right? That's what you do. You're the king. You provide for your family. And she might take it for granted. The shadow is she might demand ongoing provision without feeding back emotional support, inspiration, or appreciation. So she uses the shared life and family as a guilt-based obligation for provision, for your provision. Like, she can't leave you. Like, you can't leave, all right? You're not the kind who leaves anyway, okay? You can't leave. Like, you have to provide for us. That's the belief system. Does that make sense? Okay? So that's the shadow. Now, ladies, we are entering the top tier. Top tier, the frequency holder herself, the Empress energetic state. And not many women are there. And this is a beautiful aspiration for all of us women to have, in my humble opinion. All right? Will all of us reach there? Hopefully, the world will turn. The world that you see around you will become heaven on earth literally overnight if all women embody the Empress's energetic state, my darling. Let me just say it and leave it at that. And that is why the inversions in the matrix make sure that women never reach this state by feeding you all these lies that you get programmed with. Right. The Empress's energetic state. Fully embodied sovereign holds high frequency feminine leadership in, be it love, be it home, be it community, and legacy. And her relationship, her containment when it comes to your provisions, right? With absolute ease and grace, she can receive all forms of your masculine provisions, financial, at whatever level, okay? your emotional presence, your emotional provisions, your emotional states, range, your spiritual provisions, yeah, your strategic provisions, your visions, your plans. And she can do it with such grace, with no shame and guilt about it all. She can just receive it all, okay, because she already holds the frequencies which is beyond any of, beyond and above this world itself. So she, all these kind of things are not going to buckle her, it's not going to collapse her, okay. So she's not going to resist it, she's not going to shame herself, guilt herself into this. She won't run away from it, deflect it, or dilute it, all right. She knows how to multiply provision into greater stability, beauty, and generational wealth, okay. Now her blocks, rare, her mastery is in discernment, okay. She can very energetically discern. So it's not about rejecting you or resisting you, right? She'll have clear boundaries because of her energetic discernment around your provisions. If she blocks it, it's only because the provision comes from misaligned masculine energy, okay. It comes from bad juju. Okay, it might be like she'll sense it. She's a frequency holder, she will know, okay. If there's some strings attached, some control based or inverted matrix based, or from some unfit energy, if that provision is coming to her, she will discern it and draw gracefully clear boundaries around it, okay. Now psychologically, you can, like, she trusts in her worth, and she trusts in the masculine principle itself, okay, which is not just about you, the man. She trusts in the divine masculine principle itself. She's deeply connected spiritually with divine masculinity yourself. You are just a placeholder. One, okay, this is deep, okay. The Empress, right, and the man in her life, the husband, is one channel, one frequency of her whole relationship with the masculine divine principle itself. Does that land? Does that make sense? Okay. So her relationship with the masculine energy is beyond this world. She doesn't walk alone in this world. She holds the frequency holder, right? She already has the divine masculine principle energies of the entire universe making things work for her in her field. And you, if you are lucky as to be the man in her life, and if you are open to her field, you will be lucky that provision that has to reach her will come through you. Okay? It all depends on how big you can hold your empire or your kingdom. Does that make sense? Okay? So she understands that provision is not like charity, all right? She understands it's not like it weakens her, like all that. She knows so much more, okay? She knows that it's about polarity. She knows that her energetic leadership when it comes to all these things makes you stronger, heals you, makes you feel seen, elevates you, aligns your hormones. She knows these things, okay, consciously. So she understands, all right? She's a master of these polarities. And the way she impacts the masculine, right? She literally called forth the emperor energies in her man. So men who can and want to build empires with her as the frequency holder, done. And so it is. Amen. Now, the Empress's telltale signs, all right? Provision flows to her consistently because she is a clear, safe, and expansive container for it. Okay, you might not be the only provision, the universe, God, other masculine energies around her, everyone will be like providing to her anyway. Okay. All right, my darling. So that is how the four energetic hierarchies, the feminine hierarchies, interact with masculine provisionships. Okay. I'm gonna end here. Right. Date a provider, darling. If you're a woman tuning in, my darling, my beauty, I've created this for you. Date kingship and above. Okay. They are the quintessential, the OG providers. It's coded in their DNA. Darling, it's not about gold digging. Just cut that crap out and let that go. Okay. That's like the inverted matrix's lies that's been sold to you. You're not weak for receiving it. Okay. It's not about gold digging. It's about energetic symmetry, like I said in the very beginning. Okay. Real provision is not just financial. It's presence. It's emotional presence. It's spiritual provisions. It's directional clarity. Okay. I just want to like say something. I don't know if it will land with any of you, but I just feel called to share it anyway. I'm a deeply sensitive spiritual soul. I've come here to do a lot of spiritual work in this realm, in this dimension. Okay, I do. If for some of you for whom this is Greek and Latin, just tune yourself off, okay, and just be with me. Let it go over your head, and that's totally fine. Nothing right or wrong here. But for those of you who get me, okay, tune in. I do a lot of dream work, all right? So when my physical body is sleeping, my soul goes into different dimensions to do a lot of work for the collective, all right? So you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you do this yourself. So sometimes I literally wage battles in different dimensions while my body sleeps, okay? When I wake up, all my life, not just now, even as a child, all right? So I sometimes wake up with clear visions of battles and exhausted, tired, like I've literally gone to war, like, and many times I have. So this is my reality, okay? I call it the dream worker. You can call it whatever. Now, after I married my husband, my second husband, right? So this is what I mean by spiritual protection. I literally from day one I've actually not shared this with many people or anyone in my life. I think it's interesting that it's coming out now. But from the day I married my husband, right, I've always sensed him in all of my dreams. Especially the more intense the dream is, I sense his presence there. So his protection for me, his providing for me is not just in this realm, darling. All right? This is what I call spiritual protection. Okay? And these things don't happen in these interactions or whatever situation. I call it therapy ships, okay? Between like girl and boy and woman and a man. So I'll just leave it at that, okay? So we're talking about, what were we talking about? Yeah, we're not talking about gold digging here, okay? When I talk about provisionship, protectorship, this is not superficial stuff that I'm talking about, okay? The masculine provisionship can also provide you with spiritual protection, all right? It's directional, and yes, of course, financial provisions. The man who won't protect you or provide for you is pretty much asking you to mother him. Or you might be an emperor or a king-coded, husbandry-coded king type, but fortunately and unfortunately, you have married a woman or a girl, okay? And you want to vibrate here, but she'll cut you down, she'll criticize you, she'll compare you, she will chop your balls off to bring you down to the extent of her energetic leadership, okay? By mothering you, by weakening you, whatever. Okay, so see, here's the truth, darling. Provision is the masculine containment that creates feminine safety. When provision is present, the feminine can relax open, radiate. And when it's absent, the feminine is forced into overdrive. So here's the rule of energetic symmetry. You attract what you can hold. So if you're an overgiver, you attract underfunctioners. If you can hold healthy standards, you attract healthy providers. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a few journal prompts to dive deeper into your patterns and get in touch with your soul around all of these things. So I want you to ask yourself right now, what kind of provision do I feel safe receiving? Journal around it. What kind of provision do I allow and do I feel safe receiving from my husband? Where do I still believe it's greedy to receive? Next question. Am I dating men for potential or for provision? Okay. All right, my darling. Let's close this sacred transmission with a short, pure intention setting prayer. So I want you to land into this moment as deeply as you can. Let go of all the chaos. Let go of everything around you. Get present in this now powerful sacred moment using your breath. Feel into your inhales and your exhale. Deeply connect with your breath as you land deeper and deeper into this present moment. I want you to visualize a waterfall of lavender, purple, violet energy, light waterfall falling all over you, washing all around you and all through you. Exhale and inhale in your own comfortable rhythm as I set out this pure intention prayer with you. Dear God, I release the trauma that told me I had to earn love through struggle. I renounce the pattern of performing, fixing, building, and mothering men who were never meant to sit beside me on the throne. I ask for your clarity and your courage to see clearly, to discern deeply, and to walk away boldly. I open my heart to a love that protects me, provides for me, and pours into me from overflow. I declare myself unavailable for relationships that drain me, depletes me, or confuses me. I am a sovereign woman, and I receive only that which mirrors the throne I sit on. In your name I rise. Amen. And so it is. Thank you, my love. If you've been with me so far, you are special. Trust me, you are special. If you like my vibe, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section if anything landed, if anything resonated, and if you feel uncomfortable sharing your heart in the open forum, feel free to send me your DM. My email is written in the description of this channel. I love you all. Go ahead and live your best lives.